We're here at Foundations Forum 90. It's the Headbangers Ball with Rob Halford. Judas Priest is the co-host. And joining us right now is Chuck Billy from Testament. And you guys are going out on the road with Judas Priest. That's cool.
Great honor.
Yeah, now you also got a new album out called Souls of Black.
Yeah.
So it's going to be out October 10th?
9th, 10th.
Something like that. Now, what was it like when they told you you're going to go out with Judas Priest?
They went, oh, no, not those bunch of old men of metal. Oh, no.
We couldn't believe it. Our managers kept it a secret from us for a couple of weeks trying to get it, and then 2 days before we found out, that we got it, you guys got the Judas Priest, and we're like, what? It's unbelievable.
This is going to be a really good tour.
Yeah.
Getting really excited.
Looking forward to it.
And also, like we said, Megadeth is also on the bill. So tell us a little bit real quick. We only got a couple seconds, but tell us a little bit about the new album.
It's a lot more heavier back to our more metal roots, like our first stuff. But vocally, it's progressed more singing than the thrasher stuff we were doing in the early days.
Did you put a cover on this one?
Pardon?
Because you did an Aerosmith cover last one, so it's just all Testament stuff, right? Okay, we're really going to get excited to see these guys back on the road. And, of course, we are going to be back here. But right now it's time to take a look at the number 3 Skull Crush of the week. This is up 1 from last week. Here's Rat, Loving You Is a Dirty Job. But these guys will do it.
We'll do it. We'll take extreme. This is totally extreme. All credit should go to the two guys that put it together for us, Wayne Isham and Kurt Marvis. They've worked with a lot of Priest videos, a lot of other metal bands too, Crew, Poison, everybody. But yeah, this is not Lawrence Welk.
It ain't
really
the new
heavy.
kid.
This is heavy stuff. We had some fun doing it here in the California area some time back. We did it in a power plant, an electrical power plant about 2 miles underground on Manhattan Beach. We had a wild time, and it was also where they shot part of the Aliens movie and Star Wars and all that kind of thing, to keep feeding Jabba the Hutt. He was on the sidelines, but an intense time, so really cool.
Okay, well, let's take a look at that video. Here is Painkiller from Judas Priest.
Want to be a headbanger? You want to rattle your brains with the proud, the few? Then you want to take the ultimate challenge. Judas Priest Headbanger Boot Camp. Port of call, Lake Placid, the home of heavy metal. You will report to drill sergeant Rob Halford for a weekend of big power chord brain damage. You will be pulverized by Priest as you witness a relentless razor rock rehearsal on the last day of world tour training. With calluses on your head, you will be relocated to Montreal, Quebec. That's in Canada. There you will stand sentry at the Priest's 1990 debut high mass of metal. You are now an army of one, and you will wear your uniform with pride. And try not to spill anything on it, because it's a one-of-a-kind, beautiful, custom-painted Painkiller tour jacket. To enlist, send a postcard with your name and address on it to Headbangers Ball, Judas Priest Boot Camp Contest, P.O. Box 899, Radio City Station, New York, 10101. The Priest wants you.
Don't forget, tomorrow at 2:30, more Monsters of Rock weekend with me and some other people. Now, I was just at the Castle Donington Festival, and you played there.
I missed that, man. I was in Mexico on vacation, I'm sorry.
So you were lounging in the sun, we were in
Metal
England.
Maniacs Need to Rest, but I saw that somebody typed it for me. It was a blast.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. We were there, I think, the very first one, all those years ago. And Maurice Jones, who runs the thing, he's my next door neighbour, would you believe, at my home in England. So we're always yelling at each other over the fence. Why don't you put this band on at the show next year? And okay, well,
and all the other people that live around you have all moved, right?
Yeah. We're the only people that live in my street.
Those two houses.
Everybody's left. We make so much noise.
What was it like? Now, how many people did you play in front of then?
Well, when it first started, it was about maybe 40,000 people,
really?
which is still a lot of people for an event like that. But it was the very first ever heavy metal hard rock festival of its type. It was an incredible thing, and now, of course, it's huge.
Oh, yeah.
It's massive. We need something like this in America, folks. We need to get something like this, I think, every year maybe. Now, the last one, it was working okay, but why don't we just have like one around, the East Coast in the New York area, and then one in LA? Big promoters out there, hear what Rob's saying. Now, obviously, what everybody's been wondering, you've been in the press a lot lately about this whole big censorship thing and the messages and that's right.
Ridiculous stuff that's in the press.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to go into it in too much depth because a lot of people know what the truth was of this tragic situation. But the fact remains that we were attacked for our music And if you're being attacked for your music, that's a form of censorship, as we all know.
Definitely.
We've got this big thing going now with MTV about censorship is un-American, which is very, very true. And I think that we should all stick together through this and try and fight back, you know, because there's a lot of people out there, guys, that are trying to tell us what kind of music to listen to, what kind of books to read, what kind of music to check out, what kind of pictures we can see in art galleries. It's very serious stuff.
Oh,
we
yeah.
need to stick together and consolidate and do something about it. So that's one of the things I talked about, Ricky, at the keynote speech I gave, that a lot of us artists are all in agreement about what's happening, but we need to form some kind of group, some kind of organisation to fight back. So we're going to try and work that out and see if we can make something strong, and we can say something back to these people and get something to happen, because words ain't enough, you know.
Yeah, and
We've
it's
gotta make
getting
something solid.
Banger's Ball in a nice restaurant, which is kind of strange to see all of us here. I'm obviously with the guys in Judas Priest on location in Rio. So what are you guys thinking of Rio so far?
Rio. It's great.
Great?
Good.
Can you elaborate on that, Rob?
Bleeding hot there. I'm melting.
But you're wearing a leather coat.
I'm going to go on stage tomorrow in 150 degrees and wear 58 pounds of leather, chains, studs,
It's
and
a good
all the
workout, though.
recruitments. Yeah.
Especially, you haven't did like
I've lost 15 pounds just sitting at this
the
table.
Judas Priest workout video.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
as you can see, we've started the diet already.
I'm going to do aerobics
Foodie
next
leather
year.
guy.
It's going to be Robin Rio.
Robin Rio workout.
Yeah.
Also, going into the hotels, I mean, you guys mobbed by screaming fans.
No, that's somebody else.
No. In fact, we're the only
They don't know we're here.
the only band that doesn't get mobbed.
Oh. Well, because they were like
No.
screaming in our hotel. Tomorrow's going to be, the show's going to be pretty exciting. And we're going to be back with the guys from Judas Priest on location in Rio on Headbangers Ball, so stick around. Ricky Ragland here on the Headbangers Ball in a very lovely restaurant
There's
in
no
Rio.
food on the table, by the way.
They don't feed us
They
here
don't
on the
feed us here.
Headbangers
No.
Ball.
It's a drag. We get lots
Now,
to drink, though.
Now, first of all, how did you, tomorrow is the Big Rock in Rio Festival. Actually, we're going to see it next Saturday on Headbangers Ball, so obviously you're going to be here with us. Now, the show's coming up. How did you get involved in this Big Rock in Rio thing?
We heard about it while we were on the North American tour, doing the Painkiller tour, and of course we knew it was going to happen, but it came out of the blue, really, that we were going to be invited down here. So we were just thrilled to take the opportunity to come to South America for the first time, because Priest has never ever been to this part of the world. So it's a great way to bring Priest and bring metal and everything down into a country on the first trip, and we're really pumped for it.
It's a choice between us and Madonna.
Yeah.
Judas Priest, Madonna.
And no way for us.
Right. Now, you're playing in front of something like, what, 180,000 people or something? I mean, some ridiculous amount.
Cento... Oh, I can't say. I'm trying to learn Portuguese.
And I know
It's a really
right before you
difficult
came here,
language.
you knew what 180,000 was in
Yeah,
Portuguese. I'm just going to whip it out and say it in Portuguese.
Cento, setenta, metaleros, Lucas Aidos.
He said in the lift today, he said, I know to say, hello, and how are you? They tried it out, this crew in the lift today.
Somebody hit me.
I think
I insulted somebody in Portuguese. It's a really difficult language, you know.
Well, we're going to learn more Portuguese and more about the show that's coming up with Judas Priest as Headbangers Ball is here in Rio. Headbangers Ball is on location in Rio, Brazil,
Oh, mio, mio.
with Judas Priest. Now, the show you guys are going to be playing in front of 180,000 people. Has anybody ever played these?
We did the Oz Festival. Remember the Oz Festival in America
That was
2 years
300.
ago?
Wasn't that like 300,000?
And that was according to the promoter.
I lost count.
Who knows how many people got in?
295,000.
Now, I mean, Scott there, your new drummer, is in here right now.
Yeah.
Which
He's eating.
I hope he will be at the show. He's got
He
food
eats
on
a lot.
his
He's got
plate.
6'6" of body,
He's gotta
skin
be,
full of
he's
food.
got to be
Still
nervous.
growing.
Because now you guys basically went from the tour right here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we did the last show up in Pittsburgh just a few days ago. And then we just jumped in a plane and flew down here. So.
Now, Scott has never played in front of a crowd.
No, he
anywhere
hasn't.
near
This will be the
his
first
size.
time for him. We never thought about that.
Maybe the reason that he's not here having dinner with us right now is he's sitting
He's
at home going,
hyperventilating
okay,
in his
now what am I
room.
supposed to do?
He's doing
Actually,
oxygen,
we put Scott
trying
in
to
the deep end. The very first time we played this, we played in LA at the Concrete Convention. We borrowed equipment. It went out live. We'd never played together before. We were playing songs we'd never played before. Old tracks, because it was just like...
Pressure.
You're just not going to let him rest, are
We
you?
love pressure, you know.
If you can deal with that, I think you can deal with anything.
We're going to call our next album Pressure Priest. But he's as pumped for it as we are, you know, and we're raring to go.
Yeah.
We've got more pyro than hell, more lasers than whatever. It's just going to be outrageous.
We're going to talk a little bit about the show when we come back on location in
Is that what it is?
town.
River,
That's
it's
up this
January,
way.
isn't it?
River of January.
River of January. Well, anyways,
The Portuguese found it in January, this is what we heard.
This is a history
where was
lesson.
it
This is
December?
pre.
They found the Brazil nuts on the second day.
it was always here.
Education is vital in the world of heavy metal. You know, it's really important.
Of the world of heavy metal, this year has been kind of strange. I mean, from things that, in my opinion, borderline on being completely ridiculous, like the court case that everybody knows about, and then also being nominated for a Grammy.
Yes.
I mean, those are
about
definitely two sides of the coin.
Grammy Priest. It's unbelievable.
Somebody needs to make up the mind about Priest.
Well, we shouldn't play him. Okay, we'll play him. Now let's nominate him for a Grammy.
I thought it was half a Grammy.
We're absolutely thrilled and delighted by being nominated. Just itself, you know, is a big honour. We understand the value of having that nomination. It's a great form of recognition, and
we don't care
God,
at all
we
if
worked
don't
hard
get
for
I
it.
mean, we won't be upset at all if we don't.
But it's great, you know. It's like the equivalent of the Oscars for the movie industry, and what the Grammys do for music is sensational. And we're just really thrilled, you know, to be representing the
My mother
metal.
thinks it's an Oscar, you know. She thinks it's an Oscar. It's been
Oh, that
nominated
golden
for
guy.
an Oscar. She thinks at last, you know. I'd just like to thank everybody. She says, I can keep the job now.
Do you think that, so now she's telling people what her son does?
Yeah, before she always said, like every mother does, you know, son, why don't you come home and get a proper job? She says, now you can keep your job, so I'm happy.
Now, do you think that rock and roll, I mean, when you look at the bands that are nominated for this Grammy, they are definitely good heavy metal and hard rock bands. It's
Yeah.
not like, you know, some bands that they think are hard rock, they're hard rock
Like
heavy
the
metal
first
bands.
one.
Exactly. We're not going to say any
No,
names
but I mean,
about who
you know.
won the first one. I'm sure you guys all heard about that.
Yeah.
But do you think that rock and roll is getting respectability
It
now?
is, yeah, and I'm pleased that the Grammy people have suddenly realised that heavy metal is just as much right to be included with all the other people as everybody else, you know. And metal, as you know, is a very big form of powerful entertainment in the USA, worldwide now, of course. But it's great for a band like Priest to see this kind of recognition, because when we first began in the 70s and first brought our music over to America in the 70s, we were one of the first people to, you know, spread the gospel of metal. And so now to see it gaining this recognition in '91 with the Grammy Awards is a fabulous step up, and it's way in the right direction, definitely.
We'll be back talking to guys from Judas Priest on location with Headbangers Ball in Rio, so don't